The basics of Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust offers Bitcoin investors a way to invest through a more traditional investment vehicle. Rather than having to go to the trouble of obtaining a Bitcoin wallet and doing a purchase transaction through a cryptocurrency exchange, investors can buy shares of the trust on the over-the-counter market. In that manner, investing in Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is very similar to owning a regular stock or exchange-traded fund. To meet its investment objective, the trust obtains and holds Bitcoin at the entity level. Currently, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust holds just over 210,000 Bitcoin. Each share of the trust corresponds to slightly less than 1,000th of a Bitcoin, giving the trust a net asset value currently of a bit less than $4 per share, with prevailing Bitcoin prices near $4,000. Grayscale is the company behind the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, and as its sponsor, it collects an annual expense ratio of 2% to cover its costs in managing the trust. Unlike similar funds, however, the trust's Bitcoin holdings don't generate any income that Grayscale could use to cover those costs. As a result, Grayscale has to sell off some of its Bitcoin holdings to collect its fee. Technically, that's resulted in each share now corresponding to 0.00098576 of a Bitcoin rather than 0.001, and the exact figure will keep falling over time. Paying up for Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. The main problem with Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is that the share price has typically been a lot more than the intrinsic value of the underlying Bitcoin the trust owns. Currently, shares of the trust fetch nearly $5, which represents about a 25% premium to the roughly $4 per share that its Bitcoin is currently worth. From a historical perspective, though, this 25% premium is actually quite a bit lower than what the trust has seen in the past. Be careful with Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. I'm never a fan of paying a premium to underlying value for a fund-based investment, and that takes Grayscale Bitcoin Trust out of contention from my perspective. Yet with the delay in coming out with Bitcoin ETFs that could offer other ways to invest in Bitcoin, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust has its grip on the market, and that gives it some appeal for those who really want to invest in Bitcoin.